All right, we are right at 2:02. Awesome. So, again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Amber McCravy. I'm one of the member success managers here at Hello Insight, and I'll be walking you through our report updates and highlighting the new resources that we've recently added. So, to get a sense of where each of you is on your learning journey, each of you are, I would love to take a minute or so to have you all take a quick poll, so that way I can get a sense of who is in the audience and what it might be helpful, to point out. So you will see a poll pop up in just a moment. And as you all get a sense of the questions, are you new to Hello Insight? Has your team had the opportunity to reflect on data before? Would love to see your responses. All right, so we'll take about a minute for that. All right, for those of you who are just joining us, welcome, welcome. We'll be walking and talking through our report updates. Please take this quick poll, this quick quiz, so I can get a sense of where everyone is on their learning journey. We'll take another maybe 30 seconds or so for that. All right, awesome. I'm taking a look. Okay, nice. This is great. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, everyone. And this is really great to know. We've got a nice, healthy mix. So, today, our objective for today's session is really to highlight the new materials we have, that will help you learn from the great work you're doing with young people. So we'll have the opportunity to tour some of our new updates, and you all can begin to reflect on how they can be useful to you and your teams. So I'm going to go through a brief overview of what's new. Then we're going to go straight into reports and the new guidance that are available. And then we'll talk about reflections. And we have a sort of piece of homework for you all and your teams. So first, what's new? In the past few weeks and months, we've been crafting and adding lots of brand new guidance, which includes videos that have been embedded in the platform, articles and guides that you can use to help set up programs, and of course, reflect on data with your team, and our Learning Hub, which is essentially our new support center that houses a lot of this guidance. Now, as I mentioned, in today's session, I'll be specifically focusing and honing in on the reports that are included and embedded within our reports. So whether you're finishing school year programming or preparing to begin surveying summer programs, this session will be helpful to you as you dive into the reports from young people's surveys. So let's take a quick tour of the platform and familiarize ourselves with a few key buttons. I'm going to pop right into our test organization. And when you log in, you will land on your dashboard. This is going to be very familiar to many of you. Now, the dashboard is your home base for survey materials. So this is where your survey links are housed, as well as survey administration kits for staff, etc. So in the top menu bar, you'll find the option for the dashboard, as well as an option for your reports. So as soon as young people's survey responses are entered online, you'll find the report for that group or those groups here. And I know that today's session is about reports, but I'd also like to note that we have added new guidance for every stage of the member journey. So even as you're adding new programs into the platform, you'll see buttons that provide tips and hints and how-tos to make that process as easy as possible. Okay. And with that, let's dive right into reports. So I'm going to click on this tab and let's pull up, let's say 2022-23. I'm going to select all sites and all groups. All right. Now I'm going to skip past the demographic portions of the report, right, and head straight to our benchmark, which you can do, of course, by scrolling, or you can use these little helpful buttons up above. So at the SEL benchmark, well, first, in each of these sections, you'll notice lots of updated text as we continue to focus on adding clarity. But this benchmark is really about describing and comparing where young people are as they begin their social and emotional learning journey. This overview button, which is brand new, will provide an overview of what you're seeing here. So when you select the Watch Overview button, a video will pop up. And as you can see, you're learning about the core SEL benchmark at pre. Now, when post surveys are administered, at the top of your reports, you can toggle from pre over to post. And again, you'll be able to watch a video about the SEL benchmark, right, depending on which survey you've administered. And this video will again detail what this data means, but specifically when you're looking at your post surveys. Now, the next section I'd like to review are capacities. And capacities are the thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors, right, that young people develop and exhibit during your programs and activities. You'll see that Watch Overview button again. So you can take a deeper look at what all is included in this section and what it means. And there's an additional button that we've added called Reflect. Now, this Reflect button will open up some resources to the side here. And again, these resources will look slightly different at pre. Obviously, we're in a post report currently, but the function is the same. So at post, we have guidance that you can use to, one, take a look at the success of young people in a program. So you all can walk through this guide as you take a look at this particular section. And two, we've created a worksheet that you can print and use with your team in meetings to document what you all are seeing and reflect on your takeaways. So I'm going to open up this document so that we can take a peek. So we have reflecting on post capacity data. And I'm going to select this worksheet. And in this worksheet, in this reflection document, there are two tables. We have the highest success in green and lowest areas of success in gray. Now, this first table is really for you to reflect on your highest areas of success, right? Including thinking through what activities and experiences you're already incorporating and what else you might like to include going forward, right? So this is really a point where you can take the time with your team to talk about what it is you're doing that you feel is really impactful, what you want to continue doing, and how you might do so. So heading back to the report and back to this capacity section, this is pretty meaty. There's a lot of good stuff here, right? Lots of new and lots of things that you're already familiar with. But in that same vein, let's take a look at a couple other sections that have some overview videos included. That would be our success overview. And this is essentially a summary of the previous section. So this will take all of the young people who succeeded in any number of capacities, and it condenses that information. It summarizes it. So you'll be able to take a look at this watch overview video. And again, this will be really helpful for folks who are not in the platform regularly, who are not as familiar with your reports. This is really going to be helpful in terms of understanding and making meaning of the data that's been collected. And the next section that is also very hefty, very meaty, is our experiences section. So again, I'm going to pop over to experiences and scroll down. So these experiences, or this section, is all about PYD, or positive youth development. And those are ways of working with young people that we know from research helps develop social and emotional learning. So as many of you may know, at pre-surveys, we rank PYD experiences to highlight which ones will be the most impactful for young people in your program. So those rankings are called potential for impact scores, which you'll see in each one of our experiences. All right, so potential for impact comes at pre. At post, we provide you with what's called an implementation score, meaning to what extent were these experiences provided based on young people's answers to survey questions. And again, you'll see implementation scores provided for all of the experiences, regardless of their ranking. Now, similarly to the capacity section, you'll find a reflect button in experiences. And this reflect button will provide you, again, with two of our brand new options. The first option is understanding post-experience data. So there's a guide that you can walk through either solo or with your team. And the second button will take you to a brand new worksheet that will help you and your team reflect on the data that's been collected. Looks like we may have a question. Oh, awesome, they've been answered, perfect. And yes, each of these videos, only a minute or so long, they may be 2 minutes, but they're a very quick overview that'll really provide you some answers that we may not want to put in a paragraph of text, right? We don't want you to read for 30 minutes. So I want to pop into this reflecting worksheet because it does look a bit different from capacities. So when you're reflecting on your experience data, similarly to the capacities worksheet, there are two tables. One is for the highest implementation score, And then below, there's another table for lowest implementation score. Now, as a team, you all can take the opportunity to reflect on what's working well, what you want to include more of in future programming, and how you might do so. Okay. Now, with that, I also want to highlight our resources page. So I'm going to pop back into our report. I'm going to close this guide so I can see the resources button. Now, this resources page can be found within each one of the PYD experiences. And the resource pages themselves are not new, but there are some new videos that have been added. And in general, you may find them particularly helpful as you think about how to continue implementing these experiences into your programming. So there's a lot here that's new. There's more new guidance, more new resources that are coming. But I do want to highlight that on just about any page within the platform, you'll see this blue question mark in the bottom right-hand corner. And when you select that question mark, you have two options. One, which is our Learning Hub. And I mentioned earlier, this is essentially our support center, right? So you'll find lots of guidance, lots of videos, lots of articles here. And the second button is our Chat with Us button. So if you select Chat with Us, let's say you have a quick question that you're not sure where to find something or something is unclear, our support team handles this from, I believe, 9 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this way you can chat with us really quickly. We'll get you an answer as soon as we can. All right. Anything that our support team cannot answer, they will forward to one of our member success managers like myself, our director, Kara Coleman, right? We really are trying to make sure that you all have everything you need to continue to support young people. We know you're doing great work, and we want to help you all measure and really make sense of that data. So there may be some questions. We would love to hear feedback. I'm going to pop back into our presentation really quickly. And I would like to take a couple of minutes, maybe 2 or 3, for you all to have a chance to open up a report and take a look at some of the new offerings. And also, it would be really great for you all to take a couple of minutes to reflect on what you're seeing, ask any questions, please provide us with feedback. So I'm going to drop a link into our chat for our post report. I'm also going to drop a link to a Padlet so that you all can take a couple of minutes to reflect and provide us with any thoughts, any questions, any ideas that you have regarding our new resources. So we'll take about 3 or 4 minutes for that. And again, as I'm dropping these links into the chat, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. And please share these resources with your colleagues. We're also a learning organization. So, we learn from you all. We want to know and hear about what's helpful and how we can best support you.